Hi, and good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome again, or whenever the time of the day it is you're listening. Welcome to another exciting, action-packed edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Hall of Famers Brian Danzig and Pagan, although her real name's Reagan. You already know that. You know, we go over that every week. And, of course, Commissioner Rick Diesel. Guys, let's just face it. It's been a huge couple of weeks in the Carolina wrestling scene, really the entire AIWF scene. A lot's been going on. Might as well get it out of the way. Beginning of the program, Jack and Clara got married this past weekend. They held the ceremony at a satanic temple at an undisclosed location here in North Carolina. I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to people's faith, but Rick Diesel, I have to say, when they sacrificed the goat and passed around the goblet and we all had to drink the blood, I got a little bit nervous. How about you?
That's good goat, man.
It was good.
I mean, I like goats. I used to have goats, but man, they cooked that goat, man. It's the goat and Hershey's Kisses.
I'll never forget the shriek that goat when they put the knife to it. It was just one of those things that's gonna stick with the man for the rest of his life.
I thought that old gal cut her finger.
We're just kidding, everyone. Where are we?
That's some good barbecue, though.
Yes, it was. It was delicious. It's so. But anyway, so I guess we got to get cut right to the chase. Rick Diesel, we've got a new Mid-Atlantic television champion. Ironhead Matt Anderson defeated Gorilla Q this past at the anniversary show.
Damn.
Yeah. So bye-bye Gorilla Q. So I don't know when we'll ever see him again. If he does like Jimmy Valiant, give it about 30 days, he'll do a tour in Memphis and come right back on home. So I'm not knocking it. That's what happened.
So, Jose Brown about town.
Yeah, no doubt. So also we've got new world tag team champions. The Sioux Dudes with Attitudes defeated the Psychotic Messengers. And what was a wild brawl. I'm telling you what, guys, Joe Harrison did not seem like there was any way he was going to lose that night. He saved Mickey Fulp about a half a dozen times in that match. You want to talk about determination. I think you could have hit the Sioux Dudes with a dump truck that night and they still found a way to win. Thoughts, Rick Diesel?
I'm busy.
Okay. Thank you for that brilliant analysis.
You know what I like about Joe Harrison is he looks like he doesn't look like he can put like himself out there like that. Like he looks like a pretty guy. He looks, he's good looking. He looks clean cut, and he puts together some hell of matches.
Yeah.
Like he can go at it. He puts his body on the line, and he can go at it.
Yeah,
he is an impressive worker. Mickey has a great partner with him.
He does.
Right. You could just look at Mickey Fulp and tell that he's a scrapper, but you don't get that. You're just by looking at Joe Harrison. But once you see him fight, he proves himself time and time again.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Reagan, Rick Diesel, does it sound like that they're underwater to you?
Yes.
Okay. So,
it's this Chromebook, and my other computer is supposed to be back next week.
All right.
Okay. No, Matt, I sent you that. It finally processed. I sent you the link. That's what
all
I
right.
was doing.
So we got a nice surprise coming up on YouTube later tonight for all you folks, provided I can get it processed. But I got a lot of wrestling business to take care of with YouTube and reports that were long overdue to be sent and whatnot. All right. But anyway, nonetheless. All right. And of course, the big news, we have a new AIWF World Heavyweight Champion. Look, I was so ecstatic when the Sioux Dudes won the tag team title because we were on here a few weeks ago talking about, boy, it'd be great if some of the Mid-Atlantic guys could get their hands on those world titles again. And it's just been so long, it seems like, since Kevin Phoenix had the world title. I kind of like that ship had sailed in my mind. I'd kind of lost hope that it was going to happen. But bang, 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 there it was. 2 matches right in a row. Ty Tyson brings the world title home. Kevin Phoenix Cochran III's worst nightmare came true. Talk about your all-time great backfires. oh yeah, we're going to put Ty Tyson in this match so these two dudes will kill him. And they tried. They did.
They did their level best.
Yes, they did. But you know, Jackson Slade made a one mistake really in that match, and went to the corner and fell out of the ring at the most inopportune time. He hit the ring post and stunned him. He fell out of the ring. Next thing you know, bing, 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 1, 2, 3. And Jackson Slade loses the world title without even being pinned. We've got footage. I don't know if we're going to be allowed to show much of that tonight. We probably won't show the end, but I do have some footage that we might take a look at, because not only I want to show you the match, I want to show you the new graphics machine and everything that we used to produce the anniversary show. Man, when that does get released to the public, good Lord, get ready, folks.
Brother.
Great.
Brother, let me tell you something. With the reemergence at that show of Tim Dolan, that show is already edited and loaded up and ready to be put in Roku. Now, at that point, I did have to send it to Kevin Phoenix to put it up in Roku because he handles that, being the vice president of the network. So, but it's there. It's in the can and it's ready. Record time, buddy.
Yes.
But I will tell you this, Matt. The day 2 is all you, buddy. We're putting day 1 on Roku. Day 2 is going to you.
All right, cool. Well, send me the footage and I'll get it up.
We can get it to you.
All right, awesome. Because you know I won't fuck around. I'll get it up as fast as I can. So, but yeah, we cannot wait to see that. We're also waiting. What are we waiting on? Also, the anniversary show and something else we're waiting to go up on the Roku channel. Capital Punishment.
Capital Punishment. Yeah, and it was supposed to have went up this weekend. I haven't had time to check because I rode up to Mount Hope, West Virginia for the title match at PWL last night. Ty's first title match.
Well, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
And that's what you have in your inbox.
All right, let me see if I can pull it down while we talk. But kind of talk us through that a little bit.
They've got they've got a space it's at the Crossroads Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so wild. I mean, they had like 200 people there last night. Place was they had a great crowd. People wandering by, watching in the glass. It's not something you see every day, but it was really good show. The guys done really good up there. That the fact that there was snow on the houses when we got there, but it's West Virginia.
Yeah, I heard they had snow in like Martinsville and Greensboro, Raleigh today. Somebody named
we were in Raleigh this morning and saw it.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's where I heard that from, on your social media, that it was snowing in Raleigh. And I was like, wow.
Yes.
Hey, somebody named iPhone entered the waiting room. I'm going to need you to do a better job of identifying yourself before I let you in here. So if you're listening, log out and try again with your real name.
I named that.
Yeah.
We're picky now.
Yes, because we've had some incidents over the time. But anyway, so I'm downloading the West Virginia footage right now. So they actually had the show inside a shopping mall.
Yes, inside the Crossroads Mall, right between Rural King and Dick's Sporting Goods.
Right. So, but it was indoors. I mean,
it was indoors. They had a space in the mall, and it's set up really cool. Everybody comes in the front door. They had a really good dressing room with its own bathroom. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it was a really nice place, and they put on a good show. The crowd was into it. Like I said, there was a couple hundred people there. So, and when we got there, they was lined up down the mall. Hey, there's iPhone.
Yeah, he sent me a message and let me know who it was. So, I'll let you in.
So I'm still trying to use this Zoom thing right. So I don't even know what my name pops up as on here.
iPhone.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Okay.
I guess I mean,
feel bad. You're not the first iPhone we've had.
Well, Matt, when he sends a message with the link, he always says, make sure to put your name the name thing on Zoom, so I guess I guess I'm the iPhone now, so I can roll with it.
Yeah, it'll be fine tonight. Just like sometime when you're not like busy or anything, go in the app and just play around with the settings, and you could probably set, because once I set mine the first time, it was good after that. So
gotcha, will do.
But anyway, Mickey Falk, we were just talking about you and Joe Harrison's big win of the World Tag Team title. I was telling everybody I'd kind of thought the ship had sailed on any of the world titles coming back to the Mid-Atlantic area, but bang, 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 you and Joe win the World Tag Team titles. Ty wins the world title. It just, all of a sudden, man.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I mean, that was the goal, for me, Joe, and Ty. We all sat down on February 18th after the show on the 18th, and we all said, hey, we all got this chance to bring world titles back to Mid-Atlantic, so let's do it. And we did it. So, it's pretty cool being kind of a part of the – I don't know if this is the first time, how long it's been since both the world heavyweight and tag titles have been in the Mid-Atlantic, but it's pretty cool knowing that me, Joe, and Ty were able to do that, bring them back to the Mid-Atlantic.
Not that I can remember.
It's been a long time. I mean, it's been probably –
well, I'm curious. I'm curious as to how long it's been since any promotion has had both the world tag titles and the world title in their group. Like it may be the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
Was the last one to do that, because I mean, just having one within your affiliate is such great bragging rights, but to have, arguably 3 of the most major titles in the AIWF in one promotion, I mean, it's it's a lot of bragging rights.
Yeah,
absolutely. I was waiting for somebody else to say something, and then I was like, all right,
I'm following. Look, I hosted my own show for 4 years in Martinsville. Now I just let Matt lead. You know,
and
that's what I got to do now.
And I was here queuing up the video of the tag team title match from the anniversary show, so we could talk over it a little bit. But there you see, left of your screen, the Psychotic Messengers. Let's see, the Mercenary Tank Bryson and the Savior of Suffering Malachi. Is that correct? Am I getting that right?
It ain't Malachi.
Malachi Shoal. Yeah.
There
okay, Taz.
Malachi, biblical. It's biblical, Malachi.
Yeah. Don't like I said, I saw the Sioux dudes have a level of grit and determination in this match, unlike anything that I've ever seen before. And I'm sorry I didn't get the name of the manager or the young lady that was down there at ringside with him, the guy with the cane, or her name. Does anybody know? Well, let's identify them if we could.
I think the male, the manager, I think his name is Lucius. I think it's his first name, something along those lines. I didn't catch their female manager's name though.
And yet you guys started it off with just a wild brawl, and it's just getting the old school AIWF 90s vibes from this. Just as soon as the bell rings, a fight breaks out. Look at this tribute to Dusty Rhodes, a double flip flop and fly. You gotta love that. I mean, just all kinds of great action there, and it was great to see all the wrestlers from around the country and all that kind of stuff. We got to meet a lot of new faces and make some new contacts, so that was really cool. But Rick Diesel, overall, would you call the 2 days of the anniversary show a success?
Yeah, I do, and that's not just because we brought world titles back to the Mid-Atlantic, but the anniversary show every year is unique, and it's always a success. Fans like to come out and see the wrestlers from all over the country, and we do. We have wrestlers from all over the United States that come to this show. We had a from Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas, and I think there might have been some from California. I'm not really sure, but every year it's always a special event, and it's just like it gets bigger every year. That's why we had to eventually go to 2 days.
Yeah, because you can't.
Started a couple years ago, I think. The 2-day event.
I believe the first 2-day event we had, Brian, was that when you and Johnny Reb had the strap match? Was the first Sunday on the anniversary show, or maybe the second? I don't know.
I'm not sure if it was. I'm not sure if it was the first one, but yeah, I do remember that we had the bull rope match.
Oh yeah, the bull rope match, and it was freaking brutal. I didn't know if you or Johnny Reb or either one of you was going to make it out of that one alive. But you did, but I think you put. I don't think Johnny Reb. There's any danger of Johnny Reb ever lacing up the boots again after that one. he was spent. That's for sure. Well, you both were really. I'm always nervous going into these anniversary shows because it's a lot of wrestlers that the fans in Mount Airy aren't really familiar with that come to these things. But I thought we had a decent turnout, at least on Saturday night. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Every year at the anniversary show, I'm always like, well, everybody gets all these, they get so used to the Mid-Atlantic shows, and then this one show comes in, and it's just all these guys they've never heard of, and a lot of their favorite AIWF Mid-Atlantic wrestlers are not on the card, but they still come out. I mean, they do.
Yeah, I think with so many world titles on the line, that the natural curiosity was there, and that there's a lot of bad blood, especially involving Ty Tyson and Jack, and Clara defended the women's championship that night on Saturday night. But Mickey Fulp, can you kind of talk us through, as we've seen here, a little interference from the manager, not a mistake on you guys' part, kind of started to give the Psychotic Messengers an advantage, but you battled back, but they got you kind of stuffed in that corner there right now.
Yeah, and it's funny, they were on Matt Classic's page on Sunday morning saying that me and Joe were the ones that cheated and that we shouldn't have won the match because we cheated, apparently, and we'll get to that once we get towards the end of the match, why they think we cheated. But if we're calling a spade, I mean, is the manager not tripping me with the cane? Is that apparently not cheating anymore? According to them, but yeah, they right here is about where they started to kind of whoop my ass. I mean, I'm man enough to admit I did get my ass whooped in this match a little bit. I mean, right there on video, everybody can see it.
Yeah, I'd say more than a little bit, Mickey. I was at ringside. I was worried about your health. It was pretty bad. But I mean, that's the nature of the beast. I mean, especially in tag team wrestling, they did a real good job of cutting the ring in half. Gorilla Monsoon always used to talk about drawing that imaginary line down the middle of the ring and keeping your opponent on your half of the ring. And I thought they did a good job of that in that match. I really do. But that's just my opinion. For those of you who can't see it, the Psychotic Messengers were world tag team champions for a reason. And when you see this match on YouTube or on the Roku channel, wherever it shows up first, man, you're gonna be entertained. It was quite the tag team match. I know Mickey didn't find it that entertaining, I'm sure, because he was in the middle of it, but all the wrestling fans will enjoy it. So
something else. I mean, you got to take into consideration. You got world titles. And you travel halfway across the country, and you leave without those belts. That's got to be very disappointing.
Oh yeah,
it's not like going to the promotion down the road and dropping them. You went halfway across the country. You drove from. I think these guys come from Texas, Oklahoma,
I believe,
somewhere out in that area, and this so happens, as fate would have it, they did not take those titles back. And that's got to be disappointing. And I'm sure that they're looking for any reason other than, we just got beat.
Yeah. Well, that was about the third save on Joe Harrison's part right here. I have to say that, it's tempting to be critical of the referee, for allowing, all those saves and everything. But this ain't Japan. It's not like the old days where you're only allowed one save. And he was it's kind of like in the ACC basketball tournament. At some point, you just got to let him play, right? And so I think that's a lot of that was going on in this match. Just my opinion. Mickey Fulp, you were in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you appreciated him letting them play.
Oh, I appreciate it as a sports fan too, man. I appreciate when I'm watching basketball, football, baseball, any sport when the refs just let the competitors play, you know. So I wouldn't have even been mad if Malachi or Tank had been making all these saves, because at the end of the day, both me and Joe and them are trying to walk out as the winners. So Ref Hunter, I mean, I gotta appreciate, you know, he just lets us go out there. You know, he follows the rules, but he also understands in these big matches like world title matches and Mid-Atlantic title matches that, hey, it's okay to let a little thing, because nobody wants to see any of these matches end in a count out or a DQ or any of that BS, you know.
No.
So, you know, I got to appreciate Hunter for, you know, and he does it right down the middle. It ain't like, you know, he's cool with Joe doing it, but he wasn't cool with them doing it. It's right. We're both right there even. He's calling everything down the middle. So Ref Hunter, he's a good one, man, and I appreciate him.
Absolutely. All right. And we were experimenting. Rick Diesel, do you want to talk about the new equipment we were experimenting with and how that we were able?
I don't know a thing about it, but I'm learning.
Yeah, but it was I think it's kind of cool because we were, I got to run one of the ringside camera. Now you see me down there and left the screen. I'm filming that with my own personal phone for the fan cam, but it was really cool. You see Tim right there with a ringside camera. When you were holding one of those things, when the director came to you, a red light comes on at the top of the camera to let you know that your camera is live. So you better hold it steady, asshole.
Hey, all I know is I'm just happy that we're wireless now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tried to find the valet's name. I could not find the whole name of the manager. Lucy is the manager, but I could not find the valet's name, unfortunately.
She was in a battle royal. She is a tough bird. She was in a battle royal earlier in the match. I mean, earlier in the night with a bunch of the dudes and held her own pretty good. I mean, she was just in there by guys that outweighed her by 100, 150 pounds. So, I mean, you know, at some point she ran out of gas and got tossed, but still, you know, kudos to her for getting another. Mickey, I thought you were out right there. You got old eyes rolled back in your head, just knocked plumb loopy.
Yeah, that one kind of got me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's the one I needed Joe to come in and make the save. Really, it's the one. I think the only one he didn't come in to make the save.
Where is he? Oh, he's out there arguing with the managers. Yeah.
Oh, Joe, I love you, but don't worry about him, man.
I can't wait till I get my hands on that interview you guys gave after this match. You want to talk about awesome, fired up promos, boy? That was absolutely spectacular.
Well, according to some people, they'd have been better if I did them in a parking lot. But I mean, you know,
I was going to ask you about that, but I was waiting for the perfect time. If we want to go ahead and address it, I'm going to. And look, folks, I don't want to give away the whole match, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the footage here because I want you to watch it on our Roku and on our YouTube page when it comes out. But yeah, Mickey Fulp, you got had a little bit of beef with some wrestlers down south. Do you want to talk us through that?
Yeah, I kind of want this to be the last time I talk about it. Let's just talk about it now and, you know, put it back in the box and lock it away, you know. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and I hate to do this because it pulls back the curtain a little bit, but after me and Joe won that match, Matt Classic started posting, you know, pictures of us as the world champions, like he does. You know, if you're friends with Matt Classic on Facebook, he's always posting world champions. Mm-hmm. And since Saturday night, early Sunday morning, me and Joe have just been getting shit on by other wrestlers who we don't know, but they all have one thing in common. If you go to their Facebook, they're from Oklahoma. Which is where the Psychotic Messengers are from. And I want to say this before, I don't think the Psychotic Messengers have anything to do with this. I think, like, I'm cool with whatever. These guys have done nothing to me and Joe. The only things that they have said was, hey, we want a rematch. They've not shit on us like these other guys have, and I don't personally think that they're behind it. I just think that they're mad that their friends lost titles. So about Thursday morning, there's this manager. I don't remember his name. Again, surprised he's from Oklahoma, of all places. He makes a comment, pretty much saying that me and Joe look like we should be Applebee's servers, and that he's already bored with us. So at that point, I'd kept my mouth shut since Saturday night, and I finally said something. And I told this guy, I was like, yep, you're another generic indie wrestling manager who is wearing cheap sunglasses. He got at the truck stop and cutting Facebook promos. Yep, but we're the boring ones. So that we get into it a little bit. I can tell this guy's just, at this point, he's kind of just messing around. Like, he finally says something along the lines of, excuse my language here, I know it's a TVMA show, but he says something along the lines of, I'm just kidding, fuck the psychotic messengers. If you boys ever want to come down to Oklahoma, and I would personally like to see you whoop their ass, and we can go to Chili's afterwards or something, or whatever. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I said what I needed to say. Well, this other guy comes on. I don't remember his name. I remember his last name was Knight, like a knight, like Kni, you know. And he was criticizing the comment that I made about Facebook promos. He said something along the lines of, "Yeah, fuck you and your Facebook promos," and then says proceeds to go into bedroom to cut promo. Referring to a promo I had done for another show that's going to be running here in King on March 25th, where I was not in my bedroom. I was in a room in my house, but not my bedroom. I go to the guy's Facebook page, very public page. You can see everything. He's been in the business for 3 years. He's 6 foot tall. He's very adamant on telling people he's 6 foot tall because apparently that's not an average height. That apparently makes him so superior to everybody else.
3 years. Let me just emphasize that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Let's reiterate 3 years. And it's going to be when I start telling you, once I get more into the story, the 3 years thing comes more important because there's something he says to me that's going to make guys who've been in this business for 30 years go, what in the fuck? But yeah, so you go to his Facebook, all his promos are outdoors and terrible lighting, obviously, terrible audio, obviously. And truthfully, the promos are not that good. He's not exciting. He's also apparently he's a big guy who can't throw a chop to save his life also, but he brags about, shit like that. So anyway, he also made a post on his Facebook around the same time he made that comment where he said, I can proudly say I'm 2 years sober of doing bedroom and car promos. And that's an obvious shot at me because you posted that around the same time you made that comment to me. So you're not joking with me. You're being an asshole to be an asshole. So I made my post Thursday night where I was, if you didn't see it, it's essentially just saying, he's a guy talking shit about me doing promos in my house because of his Facebook profile. See, he does them in empty parking lots. And I pretty much said, yeah, because that's more professional, apparently. So finally, Friday morning rolls around and the guy sees it and he decides to comment on it. Which me and him, I want to reiterate, me and him have no mutual friends that I know of. Like, the only way he's seeing this is by going to my Facebook page and seeing the post.
Mm-hmm.
So he's watching my page, apparently. But he comments, and I write out my response, and I go to send it, and can't go through. Comment's been deleted. So at that point, I could have done one of two things. I could have just said, let it be. Or I could have said, fuck it. I'm going to wear the number 43, call me Richard Petty, because I'm going to call this motherfucker out. And let me tell you, Matt Carter, I put on that 43 hat, and I was ready to go. I grew a mustache instantly. I threw on the sunglasses. I was jumping in that STP car. I was ready to go. So I tag him in a comment. And I'm like, why'd you delete your comment? If you want to do this, let's do this. And so me and him are going back and forth, and I pretty much tell him, I'm like, you're sitting here saying that you guys are joking, but you're not, and that's okay that you're not joking, but why are you going to call me out on where I do my promos when your shit looks worse? Truthfully, at the end of the day, I don't care that he does promos outside, but don't say that somebody else's stuff looks bad when yours looks worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling him that I'm digging in his ass. I mean, I'm ready. And his responses are such bullshit. Like he said something along the lines of, well, you were doing the same thing because all of us were just ribbing you. No, you aren't. You were talking shit and what kills me is he never, and probably right now, still does not understand that all of that could have been avoided if he just kept shitty comment to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what I told him. I was like, if you just shut your fucking mouth, none of this will be happening. Like, it's not that hard. Keep your shitty comment to yourself. And before you shit on somebody else for where they do their promos at, make sure you do them somewhere that looks better. And his whole thing was, well, I do my promos in the parking lot of my training center where I train at. And I was like, oh my God, you just made yourself look 10 times fucking dumber there, buddy.
Wait a minute, wait.
Take 10 steps inside and go.
Right.
Do it in front of the ring.
Do it inside the training center. To me, that would be, you're going to talk about promos looking professional. Doing one in your training center is great. That's a great place to do it. Why aren't you doing it in there? But there was one thing he said to me. He told me, he said, one day I'll understand the little things. And that's where I was like, brother, you've been in this business for a swig of coffee. Brother, you ain't even got your cup of coffee yet. You just ordered it. Like, I can't even say you've been in for a cup of coffee. You just ordered it.
He barely popped his cherry.
Yeah. Or any other green cliche you want to use.
Yeah,
Coffee in the big time. Yeah.
And I've been doing this for 7. I'm not much far ahead of him. But the difference between me and him is I understand I've not been doing this for long and that my shit stinks just like everybody else's. And I could tell just by having a conversation with him that he is someone who thinks his shit don't stink. And in reality, his shit stinks the worst. You can't run your mouth about somebody's promos when, again, I don't even care that he does them outside. I personally don't like outside promos for a multitude of reasons, especially like with lighting and audio and stuff like that. I just think it's hard to get them to come out and look and sound good. But if he wants to do them outside, fine, but at least make them good.
Yeah.
Like, his shit ain't good. His shit is not good enough for him to be going on the internet and talking shit about people.
The reason I wanted you to tell this story is because I am old enough that everything reminds me of something else that happened. I remember many, many moons ago, back in the 90s, we always talk about back in the 90s like everything was perfect. Back then it wasn't. But we came back from a show one night, and this guy named Mark Ash had left a terrible message on Rick Diesel's answering machine, talk about how he beat him up and he pinned him and did all this other shit. I can't remember exactly what all it was.
We had answering machines back then.
Oh yeah.
Is this the same now that there ain't nothing like a chicken bone on a chicken wing?
No, that was Tennessee.
Oh,
This
that
is the other
was somebody
side.
else. Sorry.
So
Gonna be old like a chicken bone.
he was trying to compete with AIWF.
I used to get a lot of them back in the day.
Yes, he was trying
before the internet.
But so he was trying, I guess he was trying to run opposition to us in Mount Airy at the time. I don't remember what the whole deal was, but let me tell you how you got to watch who you fuck with, because first off, it wasn't a month or two later, one of his photos gets published in one of the after mags where he's on one knee flexing in front of a brick wall. And whoever it was after one of the writers published the photo, but then proceeded to berate him and explain all the reasons you should never pose for promo pics in front of the brick wall. Right.
I think got him for wearing stripes too when he weighed 125 pounds. I can't remember.
Yeah, the article was basically showing the picture and saying, guys, this is what not to do. Don't pose in front of a brick wall. That is a busy background. And if you weigh 140 pounds, don't flex. Just show muscles that aren't there.
It's a jealousy thing, because I remember a time on a Mickey, I'm proud of you for not inviting me to your house, because I got into an internet fight with a trainer at another facility who was knocking me and Brian, and I gave him the address to my house and gave him a time that he could come and meet us and tell it to my face.
Well, and see,
So-
not only that, but at the time, Rick Diesel had the Mount Airy TV show as a platform, and proceeded to go on TV all over the county and tell that story and make him look like a complete ass. So yeah,
He
be
was
careful.
an ass.
Yeah, be careful who you're messing with. I mean, that's
Yeah,
saying.
and the thing is, the last thing I would do, like if a tag team of ours or a wrestler, a Mid-Atlantic wrestler, went to another promotion and lost, and I thought, and I truly believed that the people that they lost to weren't the caliber of our wrestlers, I wouldn't bring it up, because if you're saying, oh, look at these guys, they're a bunch of losers. Well, your guys got their ass kicked by them. If they're losers, what the hell does that make you?
Right.
Amen.
It's like, keep your mouth shut. If you think that a lower caliber team beat your guys, just don't mention it. Because if you talk about that they're losers, then that makes your guys look even worse.
Yeah.
So you just shut up.
And it just makes the business look bad. I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go into like the nuts and bolts, but it makes the whole business look bad. You're still a part. I mean, I don't know if these people are part of the affiliates or whatever, but
Yeah, they are.
it makes, I mean, not the guys the other guys that are talking the shit, like it makes the whole business look bad.
Yeah.
I mean, shit changes. I mean, you don't want one person. You don't want a belt to stay on the same people for years and years and years and years, because it gets boring as hell. Who wants to see the same people? It's not 1987 where Mike, like the junior heavyweight, gets held by the same jobber for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up before I break
It's a world title.
It's a world title.
You want it to go. You want it to travel around.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
And the best team won. Get it over it. Get over it.
And, on my post, there was a girl who I believe she comes to our shows, her and her husband, Jennifer. She commented on it, and she made a really good point. Like, she said she does not understand why people in the same industry feel the need to publicly just shit on each other, and I've never understood that. Why are we doing that?
No,
I get
it's
you're
very
not
common though. It's
Yeah,
very
you're
common.
right, and I get not everybody's going to get along. No, I've met guys in wrestling that I've thought, well, he's an asshole. I don't, whatever. Not every you're going to meet people you're not going to like. I mean, that's just how it is. That's life. That ain't just a wrestling thing. That's life. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't be just publicly just running each other into the ground. Especially the ones like us who are, professional. And it's just like, you got a guy, and I'll give the guy I got into it with, Knight, whatever his first name was, I'll give him this. He seems to have professional promo pictures. He has a decent look. He can't cut a promo worth of shit. I'll call him out on that. And the only reason I did was because he ran his mouth first.
Yeah.
But I give him that. Like, if he had not said what he said, I'm not running him into the ground, especially because I don't know him as a person. I don't know his story. I don't know what he's been through, just like he doesn't know that about me. And again, at the end of the day, it's like, if you're gonna type out that comment and you're gonna run your mouth, you better be ready to take your accountability for it. Because when I typed out my comment replying to the manager that started this whole thing, I knew as soon as I pressed send, I was like, okay, I put myself in this corner. I held myself accountable. I could have kept my mouth shut, and I know I could have.
Mhm.
But one of the things he tried to say that me and him were doing the same thing, and it's like, not exactly. I'm defending me and my tag partner's name because you and your boys keep shitting on us.
Right.
You're just shitting on us again. It's a little different. It's just like reverse the roles. Matt posts a picture of you, and you got all these guys from North Carolina telling you that you look like shit. You can't cut a promo. You look like you are a fucking server at Applebee's. You look boring. Are you not at some point going to go on there and say, hey, you guys don't know me. You guys suck. Maybe you should shut the hell up. Right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
And don't
Start
insult
something.
servers at Applebee's either, because I mean, like, Jesus Christ. I mean, where do you work at, asshole? I mean,
And
Hey, there's servers at Applebee's that makes pretty good money.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially the bartenders.
and I will say, when the AIWF is at its best, people are always coming at it. So Mickey,
yeah.
you can look at it that way. When the AIWF in the Mid-Atlantic is at its best, everybody's coming at it. It's always been like that, and it will always be like that. So you should take some pride that they're coming in at you, because that means they're jealous.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
Absolutely.
it's like I told the guy, we'll probably never meet. If he's out there in Oklahoma or Texas or somewhere in that area, we'll never meet, more than likely. We don't know each other. Again, we'll probably never get to know each other. So at the end of the day, why not just keep your shitty comment to yourself? You may not like where I do my promos or how I look or whatever, but number one, I'm not the most confident person in the world, but one thing I do pride myself on is my promo ability. So when you can cut a promo better than mine, you come talk to me. But for now, you're at the kiddies table, I'm at the big boys table. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Like I said, after this conversation we have on the podcast, I'm done talking about it. I hope the guy, I told the guy in one of my comments, said, I hope you have a great, fun, safe weekend of wrestling. I don't wish any bad ill will towards you, and I really don't. I hope he achieves all his dreams and gets all his success he wants. But more importantly, I hope he takes something out of this. Like, I hope he's looking back at it right now today or sometime this week while he's at work or whatever. And he's like, maybe I should just keep my mouth shut sometimes. Or, maybe I'm only 3 years in. Maybe I really shouldn't be running my mouth about other people, especially people who've been doing it longer than me. And again, I'm not no vet by any means, but fuck, I got 4 years on him. I had already won my first AIWF World title before he even got into business. So there's something at least. But at the end of the day, man, if he don't change, he'll either be out of the business in about a year or two, or one of these real vets, these actual vets, somebody like a Damian Wayne or somebody, he's gonna run into somebody like that, and they're gonna light his ass up.
Yeah,
and he's gonna get humbled real quick. So
absolutely.
One thing I can say for sure is that of the people in this room, other than Mickey Falk, we've dealt with it for so long over the past 30 years and so many times that I don't even think we pay attention to it anymore.
No.
When people, have something smart to say about the AIWF, especially in the Mid-Atlantic area, we've been around the longest.
Yeah.
But we've dealt with it so much and so many other promotions, and that have I call it jealousy. You call it whatever you want, and then wrestlers who would get upset because we wouldn't book them because they just didn't fit what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got to the point where it was like, oh, look, another one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I sent that reply when Mickey Falk, when you sent me the screenshots of that conversation, because I was asking you about it, and I replied 3 words: typical wrestler bullshit. Because I've seen it before. It's just like Rick Dees was talking about. I've seen it before, and the truth be told, I ain't got no hate for any other promotion, or I mean, there are a few people in the wrestling business I don't like, but I ain't sure as hell ain't gonna give them props here. And I'm not gonna name the guy you got in with. I looked it up. I see what his name is, but I don't feel like the need to give him any free publicity.
You just get to the point to where you know, now there was a time when it did bother. I'm sure it bothered all of us, but now we're just like, man, you know,
Right.
it's just
I mean, yeah.
it's nothing to
When I
it.
gave that guy my address, that bothered me. I was so mad that night. I was hoping he showed up.
I could
And he
tell.
was about 3 times bigger than me, and I was hoping he showed up. Brian's like, "You need to calm down." And,
Yeah,
but yeah,
gonna fuck around and catch a charge.
I was younger then and didn't care about that kind of thing.
Wasn't there somebody who, when the internet first come out, wasn't there something about me and a ball sack?
I don't know, man. That message.
I just remember that answer machine. Him, there was a wife. It was a wife. It was like nothing but a yeah. But yeah, that was somebody from Tennessee.
I remember that original AIWF message board. Good God.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Be in trouble.
Lord have
Lord.
mercy. 1997. Lord, it'd make your eyes bleed. It was so filthy sometimes. You know, oh,
Yeah.
mercy.
They came at us about training, about who trained, because we weren't trained by names. They came at us about the way we ran shows. They came at us about where we ran shows. They came at us about who was on shows. I mean, they came at us like every which way.
I had a guy at a party once back in 97, 98 try to fight me because he said I blackballed him out of the wrestling business. And you know what he considered blackballing? He was like, "Hey man, how do I get involved with that wrestling that you do?" And I said, "Well, do you have any like wrestling experience like in high school or college or anything?" And he got mad that I asked him that question and then started telling everybody I was blackballing him from the business. And he tried to fight me that night.
But the thing about it is, out of everybody over the past 31 years or 30 plus years that has said that all the shit we've been through from people, out of all of them, out of every last one, we're the only one left.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, we are.
Where is a badge of honor?
Yes,
yeah. The hate that we have garnered and not from fans.
No, not from fans.
Other people in the business. And it's been that way for 30. Well, I ain't gonna say 30 years, probably 25, right, Brian? Because we're there for the first little bit, everybody's like, "Oh, they'll go away. They ain't nothing." You know what I'm saying? It was after we showed everybody that we was not going anywhere is when the hate really started coming out. That's when the bone crushers come out of the woodwork, boy.
Oh Lord, there's blasphemy past. I ain't opening that can of worms. Not tonight. We're already an hour in, and I hadn't read the first damn spot yet. So we're going. I'm going to read some commercials real quick here. Can we see the slideshow?
Yes.
All right. Let me see here from current slide. Yes. All righty. So Premier Auto Detailing is our newest sponsor, and we're so glad to have them. They can make that old jalopy looking like it just rolled off the showroom floor. If your grandpappy's truck has been up on blocks back behind the barn for the last 5 years, and you finally got it running and got some wheels on it, and now you need it cleaned up and get all those black widows out from underneath it. God, they're probably did not want me to say that. They're not a pest control service, but they'll get it cleaned up for you. Premier Auto Detailing. They also do fleet service. So if you got grandpappy's old truck, you want to get you just got up and running and need it cleaned up, you can call them for that. If you own a used car lot and you're somewhere in the Surry County area or surrounding counties, Stokes, Forsyth, whatever, you can reach out to them at 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722. And tell them AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Again, they do individual jobs. They do fleet service work, whatever you need. You give them a call. For those of you listening on the audio portion, all 8 of you, 336-883-5722. All right. And Tees Creations Custom Apparel. They are a sponsor as well. Custom made t-shirts. Here's just a glimpse of what they've got available right now, but you can go to their website. They can make custom made shirts like for family reunions, wrestling events, because Lord knows they do them for us for the wrestling events. Any type of custom job you need on a t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie. They even do the tumblers, can tumblers. You know, you put ice and water in that you have at work, whatever. They do those as well. And if you can think it up in your head, they can help you design it. All you have to do is visit them at teescreations22.com. That's Tees Creations, no apostrophe, teescreations22.com. Or you can visit them at facebook.com/Tees Creations. Again, facebook.com/Tees Creations. And we'd like to thank them for their continued support. If you'd like to get your ad on this very fine program, we'd love to have you. And we offer the most affordable ad rates in wrestling. I challenge any other promotion to prove me wrong. $10 a month for the similar reads to what you just heard, for $10 a month. And look, if we take a week off, that ain't on you, Jack. You're going to get 4 weeks for $10, right? So if we take a week off, if we have technical difficulties, that does not affect you. And this is, you know, we're geared toward the small business guy and gal. You know, if you do a side hustle, it's tax time right now. Speaking of which, I still got to do mine. It's getting close. But I'm running out of time. But anyway,
yeah, damn.
Yeah. Oh no, you're self-employed. Good luck.
It's okay. There's this word that we like very good. It's called extension.
Oh yeah, you can always file for one of those. Yeah. And look, it's always best to call the IRS before you commit a. Never mind. I'm getting into like
I have somebody takes care of that for me. Thank God.
I'm gonna start doing a Cornet promo where I'm talking about our sponsors committing crimes and all this kind of stuff. Look, no, we do not want, if you run a criminal enterprise, we do not want your support. But if you run a legitimate side hustle, like doing taxes or, selling used tires, rebuilding race car engines, can anybody think of anything else that's oddball? Restaurants, yeah,
gas stations, crack dealers. I mean,
no.
Converters.
Yeah, that's illegal in North Carolina. selling the crack.
Not in Oregon. In Oregon and Washington, ain't.
Really?
Yeah, didn't Oregon legalize all their drugs like in 2020, the election 2020?
I don't know. I'm just
trying to stay away from Pacific Northwest if I can. That's like Mexico. I go there, I'll say something, get me killed.
Well, I don't know. I want to go to Mount Rainier one day, but anyway, and Mickey, when I do the trip to Mount Rainier in a couple of years, I'll find out and I'll bring you back the information.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, so if it's a bunch of crackheads hanging around at the base of Mount Rainier wanting $20,
I think closest I'll get will be Kansas next month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ty Tyson can hang on. I told Ty that if he can hang on to that world title. There's a date coming up for the world heavyweight champion in Kansas at the middle of April, that whoever's got the belt, they have to fulfill that date. And I told Tyson, you better work yourself to death, man. You make sure I might have to cheat for him because I want to go to Kansas. I told him I'd go out there with him.
That's supposed to be some kick-ass barbecue out there. I don't know if but that's what I hear.
About a year ago, it's 2021, spring of 2021. I went out there, same promotion, XWE. They ran a 2-day event, and I'm gonna tell you, Rick, that drive, my God,
15 hours each way.
Yes, because we met in Mount Airy at the Walmart Mount Airy. The guys I went with, we drove it straight. We went through Nashville, St. Louis, and then you just end up driving by a bunch of farms.
Yeah. In XWE, isn't that where Stormy Renee was out of, the lady who wrestled Clara at the anniversary show?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what, they know how to grow good wrestlers out there, because she came within an eyelash of beating Clara at the anniversary show. But anyway, $10 a month can get you on this clusterfuck of a podcast, and we'd love to have you as a sponsor, and you'll appear on all these platforms. We do Facebook Live, then the show is archived on YouTube. We also are on your favorite audio platforms as well, so you can listen to us going down the road in the car every now and then.
Go back sending me the videos.
I don't know how.
You did it for a while.
I know, but then that website got hip to me and started wanting to bill me. So, you know, yeah, I know we spare every expense at this show. And hey, maybe that's why we've been around for 31 years, right? We're tight.
We're cheap. We're frugal.
Yeah,
we're frugal. That's what it is.
Hey,
We
but
don't blow our money on names and guys who want more than what they're worth. We take guys who are worth what they want and make a hell of a show out of them.
you're making me think of Jimmy Love flashing back to, no, man, I'm a $50 guy. I'm a $50 guy. Remember that? Oh, Lord. AIWF20 at hotmail.com. If you want to reach out to us, we'd be glad to talk to you. And
The
maybe
world's oldest email.
yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
it is. It's actually older than my personal email, which is still the same one that I set up in 1997. And this email is older than that. So
I actually had someone ask me one time, you still use Hotmail? I'm like, yeah, why change it if it works?
yeah. I mean,
Wait a minute. Who got
what?
You got that email for us, didn't you? Who got that email for us?
I don't
Who?
know.
AIWF20 at hotmail.com.
Billy got it.
Who?
Billy?
Dr. Bill, I think, did it.
Who got it for us?
It might have been. Because you can't get a Hotmail address anymore because they're all MSN addresses now. So
Yeah.
I don't even know if MSN is.
This is such riveting wrestling talk.
Yes, that's all right. I'm going to come to the rescue with another piece of film here in just a second because I didn't want to do all our spots at once. Let's see here. I got to find it first.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank
I'm
you.
allowed to ask about other shows that Mickey is on.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, tell me more about that show that's going to be in King. Tragic Seasons. I went to high school with two of the people in that band, and used to have a crush on one of them. So I need to know more about that show.
So the one running King will be March 25th, Saturday, March 25th. FCW Freestyle Championship Wrestling.
Oh, you got that up there.
As of right now, I'm wrestling Nate Roberts, Dalton Grant, and a mystery opponent in a four-way for their freestyle championship. But that's going to be at Chestnut Grove Middle School, actually the same place I went to middle school at, on March 25th.
That's
So,
the promo, Matt.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's beautiful. Look at all that.
No, I mean,
stuff.
it's a promo. Ty's cutting a promo.
Oh, he is. Go keep talking, Mickey. Here, let me stop the share for a second so you can go ahead and.
I was done anyway. It's March 25th, FCW, Chestnut Grove Middle School. I'm gonna be in a four-way match that night for their freestyle championship. So really excited for that. To be able to wrestle in the same building that, you know, in the same gym that I used to amateur wrestle in, where I really started amateur wrestling in. So that's gonna be kind of cool. Even my old wrestling coach, Coach Sammons, is gonna be special guest ref for a match that night. So that'll be kind of cool too, seeing him again.
Man, that's awesome, Mickey, because when we went to Bassett High School a few years after I graduated, I wasn't even on the wrestling team at Bassett High School, clearly microphone. But man, it was so much fun going and doing a show in a place that I went to school, you know, and just gave me a lot of pride. So I think that's just really awesome.
I mean, it's really cool. I mean, you know, the same place, like, it's been over 10 years since I've, you know, wrestled in that gym, like, as an amateur. Now, I did do a battle royal in that gym a couple years ago for AML. They had their first Future Star show at Chestnut Grove Middle School, but, you know, actually being able to wrestle in a match at my old middle school, you know, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, you know, that's gonna be really good. And to have my old wrestling coach, he's not reffing my match that I know of, but for him to be there and reffing a match and be a part of it, that'll be really cool too.
Awesome. Yeah, that is gonna be pretty awesome. Let's see here. Now we're going back to the shopping mall. There's Rose Tyson leading her daddy to the ring. Of course, you know, I hear that she's gonna have some competition for for daddy issues, TW Rose seems to be taking a liking to Ty Tyson too. I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of weird, but we'll see how that shakes out. But right here in the middle of the mall, Rick Diesel, this is unusual. We saw that
It's
guy.
an interesting setup, and they had a lot of people there. And you'll be able to notice if a camera pans around the big glass window at the front, people walking by going, "Whoa, that's pretty cool."
So they had it like in what I guess it looked like it used to be a store of some kind, right?
Yeah.
So it's not.
You see the people walking by the glass out
Yeah,
there in the background?
yeah. Oh, okay. So right across from the gold Hallmark Gold Crown store in the Hibbett
Yeah.
Sports, they got live
This is
wrestling
like a
inside the mall.
function mall.
Yes, it's not like the Eden Mall where it's just empty hallways, but
No, it's a really nice mall, and the parking lot was packed. Like I said, the anchor stores is Rural King and Dick's Sporting Goods.
yeah. I mean, and that's appropriate. Where's this, Bluefield, West Virginia?
Mount Hope, right on the northern side of Beckley.
Oh wow, okay. Stephen P. New country there. But so we call those TV rings or low boys for those of you watching. And that's good because you got a low ceiling in there, and we all know what can happen with full-size rings and rooms with low ceiling. Head injuries.
Yes, been there, done that.
And
I'd
this
love
is
to have had a low boy ring at the Bassett Community Center, boy. We could have done so much more. And Kevin Stryker wouldn't have got knocked out over the rafters. And good times, man.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have
he hit his head
down and beat him with a chair.
I know, that was an awesome visual.
Pros and cons.
Yep. Yep. Kevin Stryker hit his head so hard on that roof it gave his kids brain damage.
Now, Matt,
you don't know about
Matt and Rick, you were, I'm assuming you went up there last night. And now that is Sean Cruz from down here in North Carolina. That's interesting because, Ty and Sean, I believe they kind of broke into the business together. So for this to be Ty's first world title defense, that had to be kind of a pretty special opponent to have that first world title defense against for Ty.
Wasn't he with one of the guys? Wasn't he one of the RWC guys?
He surely was.
Yeah, that just keeps going full circle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this was PWL. So, wrestling is a lot smaller world than people realize.
Yeah, it is. It is a small world. And look at I love all the people in there, and that's a nice setting inside there.
I think they said they had like 216 paid at the door.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
For a shopping mall, like that's really good, because you could tell the venue isn't the biggest, but to fit that many people into a smaller venue, I mean, my God, that's pretty good.
It ain't no Peebles, but it'll do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you made a few adjustments with the lighting in there, they'd be all set. But that's just me critiquing every little thing. That's the wrestling nerd in me. PWL don't even.
Well,
take
now
that
in their defense, I think they're just starting out here, and I guess they're going to have to see what the mall will let them do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what all the mall is going to allow them to do in there. I know they've got a couple of businesses in there that's on their side that sponsor them, I think. So they've got backing from other businesses. It's bringing business into the mall, so that's smart. Now it's just they got to see what the mall management is going to say. You know what? Let's let these guys. Let's see how far they'll let them go with like maybe putting some lights in the ceiling, or or getting away from. Maybe redoing the ring entrance. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been big on that. A good ring entrance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for a startup company, I didn't think their entrance looked all that bad. I mean, considering all things considered, because they were running in a skating rink before this, right?
Yes. Well, they still do run a skating rink in Bluefield.
Oh,
this
is
an expansion. They also run their school out of this facility here.
Oh, okay.
And I think Benny Conley is their head trainer. And Jason Kincaid is an occasional trainer. Am I right? Nick?
Their head trainers are Benny, like you said, and Aaron West, who has been down in the Mid-Atlantic. He's been down to Mount Airy a couple times. But yeah, they run a training school right there at the Mount Hope Mall, right there in that same building. And I just saw, I guess, whatever happened at the show last night, one of their shows they got coming up, Jeff Paul is going to wrestle Jason Kincaid in a beard versus beard match. Loser gets their beard shaped. So that, if you're in that West Virginia area, I mean, that
you
would be
won't
a
miss
good match right there.
God, I'd buy a ticket to see that. Oh, man.
I did not see the date. I know it's coming up. They've got.
I saw that. I
show.
just saw that. Yeah. Let me
They
see if
have
I
a
can
show
find it.
this Saturday in Bluefield, as do we. Or in Mount Airy we do. And they have another one on the 31st, which is another date that will be in Mount Airy. So, but I get it.
April. Oh, sorry, Mickey.
I was just
April
going to say
8th.
I'm sorry, I did not. Go ahead.
The beard versus beard match is April 8th.
April 8th.
Okay, so it's gonna be in April. Okay, but I do know if you're in that area of West Virginia, they're gonna be running the 18th to 31st. If you're down here in our area, Mount Airy, we'll be running those dates too. So there's a lot of great wrestling in the AIWF from on both the 18th and the 31st, and I think fans should definitely go check out if they're in the areas.
You don't have to go far to find good wrestling in this part of the country. That's for damn sure.
Hey, Brian.
Was Nurse Micah at that show last night? Does anybody know?
But
I thought I saw her in the background.
Brian.
She looked like some guy was talking to her and probably saying something that was making her uncomfortable.
Man, I gotta say something to Brian.
Yes.
Guess who one of the referees is?
Smiley? Who? I give up.
Assassin.
Huh?
Brian's like,
The
yeah,
what?
who?
Who?
The
The
Cuban
masked
assassin.
The Cuban assassin.
Remember him?
Which one?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say
The old one?
Well, they're both old. They're all old.
Yeah,
This is the one that worked on the Beckley show with us.
Oh, God.
Y'all remember him?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut your cockroach.
Yeah, when we done that 2-day show in West Virginia, and he worked over on the Beckley show. I think he worked Jumpin' Jimmy, and I can't remember who he worked, but anyway, it's like everybody's like, he was just a very weird dude.
Yeah, I remember now.
We'll see, because I remember first seeing the Cuban assassin like on WCW, like very randomly.
I think that's his dad.
Right.
Yeah, and then we get to that show, and I'm like, oh wow, the Cuban assassin, and he came out to the ring, and I was like, wait a minute, this ain't the same fella. But I still remember Billy. You cockroach. Oh mercy! Oh, look at that. Referee Reggie Cassidy almost got squashed right there. But yeah, that is a nice venue. And it's very unique.
I like it.
Now, what time did they run this show? It was like 7:00 at night, so you could
It
put up.
started at 6 because naturally it's got to be open before the mall closes. That's the
Right.
only downfall I see to it. But when we got there, there was a line of people all the way. They had to put up ropes, barriers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like at a concert, they had barriers down one wall of the mall, and everybody had to stand on the inside of it.
Yep. Oh well. Sorry, the match ended, so I took it
But
down.
hey, if you're in the Beckley area and they're running Mount Hope, go over there.
Yeah,
Don't
no
be
kidding.
disappointed.
That's right. Mm,
When's Ty's next? Is Ty's next title defense the RWC show? Is it RWC? No, RWF.
Well, actually, he's got a title defense in Mount Airy next.
Mount Airy, but the next
Saturday.
next on the road.
On the road, yeah, it'll be RWA if he makes it through. Who is Benny Conley?
Rick, are you announcing a world title match for this Saturday?
Maybe, maybe not. I can't really. Well, actually, I can.
You
Let's
can.
do
You're the
that.
commissioner.
Yeah, let's do that. Whoever he wrestles this, put the damn title on the line. If you get in
You
there,
said Benny Conley. You said Benny Conley.
I may have just screwed something up.
I
You can
don't
blame it on
say
me.
nothing.
If Kevin Cochran has a problem, he can take it up with me.
he won't. He's been kind of quiet lately.
Third will have a problem. The fact that Ty's actually would be defending that belt anyhow because he did not want him to have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to want him to put it on the line as much as possible.
Especially against Benny Conley. So, because, yeah.
Speaking of cream pies, like it was the all-time backfire, you know. I mean, he got it all over him. I mean, in his face and his eyes, up his nostrils. It's just, yeah, to have a planned backfire so bad, I don't think it could have gone any worse for Kevin Phoenix Cochran III, who is, according to his social media, going to be making a trip across the pond in a few months.
Yeah, I seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is KKK.
Yes,
Did you notice that? His Kevin something with the K Cochran. Can't remember what the K was now.
I saw it earlier, but yeah. So for your Instagrammers out there, Camptown ladies sing this song, doo-dah, doo-dah.
Oh, it's Dudar.
Doo-dah.
Which, by the way, I watched History of the World Part 2.
How was it? I thought
I didn't make it through the first episode. Mel Brooks is caved like a goddamn Singapore hooker.
Well, I mean, he's older now, and Hollywood's changed.
But it's not a Mel Brooks move. It's not a Mel Brooks thing.
I don't think Mel Brooks did it. Mel Brooks didn't do
he's
it.
Like a producer.
He's a producer, but he didn't. It's other people that.
Now, what it takes somebody else write it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That explains a lot. Because this certainly ain't no Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles or History of the World Part 1. That is for sure.
Rick, you're going to have to get over the fact that time marches on.
For me, I'm old.
As
Everything I got.
As the Tracy Lawrence song says, time marches on.
He doesn't know country. That's an old ass country song too. They had that when I was in high school. Let's see. Speaking of what, if you want to go see a movie that gives a big fuck you to political correctness, I cannot recommend Cocaine Bear enough.
I gotta watch that.
It was I found this out the day when my wife looked at me and said, "You know, remember the Hunger Games? Remember the lady that played the representative for District 9? What was I can't remember the actor's name, but I know her from a lot of other comedies.
Russell.
She directed that movie.
Oh, nice.
That's what I've been told. And I was just like, when my wife told me that, I was like, you know what a hard ass comedian she is? I mean, she's been in all these other damn weird, twisted comedy movies, and they gave her the reins for this. Oh my God. So I knew we were in for a treat when we went in there, and it's funny, it's gruesome. I mean, it's everything you could want in a trip to the movies.
It's comedy. It's supposed to be offensive.
Yeah, and it is
supposed to be.
I'm a big fan of the guy who plays the paramedic, the mustache guy.
Yeah.
I follow his Twitter with the stuff about working in retail because he just, after all my time in retail, he hits the nail on the head.
Yeah, but everybody in that movie did a great job. It was Ray Liotta's last movie before he passed away, and he actually is such a good bad guy in this movie. He is so evil. Like that's the only thing that kills the laughs in this movie, because he is one evil bastard in this movie.
Good for him.
Yeah. So I mean, he went out on top, man. So yeah, Cocaine Bear if you want to see a good movie. And let's see. And if you need some good tree service, segways have never been my strength.
Hey,
you need to make sure
if a bear has shit on your tree and you need it cut down.
Yeah. So if you need a tree trim so a black bear that's all coked up can't get to you, you need to call Branch Management. Branch Management is a tree service that operates out of the Surry County, North Carolina area. They can do pruning. They can do complete tree removal. I don't think they do stump grinding, but anything that you need to do to help keep those trees under wraps and away from power lines and from falling on your neighbor's house, they can help you with. They offer very competitive rates and free estimates are here to serve you. You might also be eligible for a $100 referral bonus if you send somebody to them and they can help them out. So all you need to do to get a free estimate from Branch Management is give them a call at 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. I'll give you those numbers one more time, 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. And that's not all. Branch Management also does landscaping, gutter cleaning, general maintenance, and pressure washing. That's a different number you need to call for that particular service. It's 336-648-2487 That's 336-648-2487. And as always, with our sponsors, please tell them that AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Our most delicious sponsor yet remains T's Treats. Unbelievable, great food, hot dogs, pizza. They even got stuffed crust pizza now. This is getting ridiculous. The wild amount of variety on this menu, and this is a food truck. Some of the best milkshakes, ice cream, funnel cakes, mini donuts. I mean, they got it all pretty much. There's not much that they don't have. T's Treats is always at the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling shows, but they also move all over the state. They can be at multiple locations at the same time because they got more than one truck. And so you can call them up if you'd like to book them for an event, street festival, music festival, baseball tournament, whatever. Give them a call at 336-755-8204, 336-755-8204 for availability and where you can find them. And you can find more information on Facebook.com. Just search T's Treats. That's Facebook.com/T's Treats. Rick Diesel, what has T's Treats got lined up for us this week? Anything? I'm sure something delicious.
Well, we got this cold snap up here, but I think we're going to have one truck over at the Dobson Town Square, possibly Wednesday, and then they're going to be at the show on Saturday at Veterans Park in Mount Airy. And I'm still working on them about that Kevin Phoenix Cochran III funnel cake with the Tootsie Rolls sticking up out of it so it look like toes.
Yeah, that'll be incredibly interesting and possibly racist, but we'll see.
I don't like the sound of any of that.
Oh boy. Okay, so I was going to ask you about is T's Treat, they're going to have some kind of, I saw something that they're going to have in Dobson this summer, like a tribute to the ground chuck sandwich or chuck wagon sandwich.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's got signed up for that or not.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. We read all about the history of the ground steak
festival.
Yeah, the ground steak sandwich, which evidently kept a lot of people alive during the Great Depression and World War II in the area. So,
hey man, you shoot a squirrel, beat it with a hammer, boom, ground steak.
Yep. But yeah, that's not where I was going with it. But yeah, you could. Yeah, I guess you could do that. And you could. And
hey, let me tell you something. My grandma. I'll tell you how old I am. My grandma. She made some of the best squirrel gravy I've ever had in my life.
Oh God, yeah. When that stuff's done right,
she'd fry it, squirrel up, make that squirrel gravy and biscuits, man.
If it's done
Mickey's
right.
Like, what in the hell is he talking
about?
I grew up in Stokes County and I didn't even eat that. And I grew up in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we were foot hillbillies. You know what I'm saying?
No kidding. So was I. I had I didn't get it until my mother remarried. And my stepdad was in like rabbit gravy and squirrel gravy and stuff.
Yeah.
When it's done right, it's pretty good. And I tease some of my friends back home to this day. There's one gal named Melinda that I used to work with. She's always posting pictures of her pet rabbit. And I'm always writing in the comments, hey, that'd look a whole lot better over a mess of biscuits, you know?
Hey, my grandma could skin a squirrel, man. Bam.
Yeah.
Without even, she used to make me get on one side and pull the skin while she pulled the other side.
Only thing about squirrels though, it's just like quail. You gotta get a bunch of them. You know,
yeah.
You need to
at least don't do you no good.
No, you got to kill at least a half dozen. At least
that's a wood rat. A tree rat.
Yep.
But hey, man, back in the 70s, you know, we did what we did. We also had 3 channels on the TV.
Yeah, and one of them had Crockett Promotions on it every Saturday at 12 o'clock. You know, something else talking about the good old days, show you how old I am. I remember my grandmother telling me one time, she was talking about, we were listening to the radio or something. Somebody was on there talking about, oh, it was so much better when we were kids and all that kind of stuff. My grandmother was born in 1910. So she was in her 20s during the Great Depression. So I remember her looking at me and going, I can't stand when old people say stuff like that. And I'm like, what do you mean, Nanny? And she goes, I lived through the good old days and there was not much good about it. We didn't have indoor plumbing. We had to go to an outhouse. If you had to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, you better put on slippers because you might step in or own something that would bite you. She's like, it was not fun at all. And she goes, I just don't get why people reminisce like everything was so great back then, because it wasn't. And so
Well, that's true. My daddy lived in Lawsonville, North Carolina, and didn't have plumbing in his house till he was 16. So, and he was born in 48. That tells you anything. So,
yeah. So and my mother said that they didn't have a color a TV, not much less a color TV, but didn't have a TV in their house until she was 14. And like that one of the neighbors had a TV, and so the neighborhood kids would go down there like once a week and watch TV at night for like a half hour, and that was like a big treat for them. Hey, and now here we are with 1,000 channels on cable, all this stuff on the internet, you know, a million freaking wrestling podcasts on the internet, and we're jumping in there too, going, me too. I see an overcrowded marketplace. Let me get a piece of action. Okay.
let's talk about a bunch of weird nonsense. Yes.
Speaking of weird nonsense, I'll give you guys some homework, come back and talk about next week. Some random shit on the internet that I think that Dr. Bill Payton would be involved with if he knew about it. It's a song called Taste the Biscuits. Have you ever seen that video? It's on YouTube. All you need to do is search.
Seems like I've heard. Oh, is that the one with the people singing in the store?
Yes, that's it.
Yes, we saw that.
Yeah, we did.
Taste the Biscuits. And for some reason, the dude on the keyboard reminds me of Dr. Bill if he's like 60 or 70 years old.
I'll have to mention it to him. I'm trying to get him to come on the show one time. I'm trying to get him. He's hard to catch.
Yeah,
he's hard to catch.
He's quite the elusive gentleman, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I do have one wrestling thing I do want to talk about that has to do with like big time wrestling.
Go ahead.
Liv Morgan has now decided to call herself Queen of Extreme. And I, along with Francine, have taken offense to that because Francine has called herself Queen of Extreme and has the backing and the receipts of Queen of Extreme for many a year, many years with that moniker. And I do not appreciate that Liv Morgan is now trying to use, because one thing WWE is not is extreme.
Yeah.
I'll ride that
She
train.
should not be using that name. WWE should not be trying to take that name from Francine. I don't know if Francine has the trademark for that name, but
she filed a copyright for it.
For the copyright trade, whatever you would use for it. Not cool. I mean, I think that's disrespectful to a woman who is a legend in this business, and I just think it's terrible. So there's my little.
I agree, but I'll be tempted to give Liv Morgan the benefit of the doubt because she's barely old enough to vote, so she probably does not know wrestling history like that. Although you don't.
Yeah, but WWE owns the ECW library. They nobody could have told her.
Yeah, but
I know they own it.
Yeah, I know
they
that.
Own it.
But who's gonna do that guy?
My personal opinion is if you don't know a little bit about the business, don't be in the business. But maybe I'm just an old, grump. I don't know.
Battle axe. Whatever.
Hey, I see you on the week.
Hey, I'm old too. It's all right. That's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, you could maybe chalk that up to youth. But Francine did say that on her social media that she filed for the copyright. So I don't think it'll be an issue going forward. But just random because Liv hadn't really done what you call extreme matches.
I mean, her ass is extreme. I mean, I'll give her that.
There's a lot of makeup.
Oh, yeah, I'm a happily married man.
Extreme.
I will give her credit for this though. When Rhea Ripley beat her ass a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, they got a shot of a little girl in the audience just crying her eyes out. And of course, me, being the sadistic bastard I am, thought that was hilarious. But it was good because like it's getting real emotion from the kid. And Liv can take a beating. Like when she's getting beat, I mean, the old expression, sell like Ricky Morton. She's no Ricky Morton, but she's well on her way. Give her another 20 years, 10 years, maybe so. But man, I'm gonna tell you what, Liv Morgan saw that shit, right? And goes and gets somebody to pull that kid out of the audience and got her brought backstage and sat with her and took some pictures and gave her some gifts and assured her she was okay. And at that I thought was pretty fucking awesome. So I'm gonna knock her for using Francine's name. I want to point out something good she did too.
Speaking of getting your ass beat, I missed it today at 4:00. I knew it was coming on, but I got busy. But the A&E China documentary that has clips of China and Brad from Mount Airy.
Yes,
Oh,
I've heard that. I
really?
hadn't seen it. I hadn't
Yes.
seen it yet.
I
but-
missed it. I was gonna watch it today, but it's on
Is
the
that-
A&E
It's
documentary.
on demand.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
you-
on demand.
If you got the
It's-
A&E app on your Roku, you could probably log in with your Spectrum account. We're in North Carolina, folks. So we got Spectrum. You can log in with your Spectrum account and it'll let you watch it whenever you want to.
Yeah, I had made a point I was gonna watch that today at 4:00, and I'd be damned if I didn't get busy and miss it. But I have heard that it has clips from Brad and Joni before she was China from Veterans Park in Mount Airy. So if anybody knows when it's coming on again, in case I'm not smart enough to log in with my Spectrum account, because I am old, let me know when they're showing it again, because I do want to watch that.
It's funny you say that because I was doing a one-on-one with one of my gals at my shoot job, and she was telling me, she's like, boy, I saw this documentary. I was telling her I'm going to wrestling, on the weekend. And she said, boy, I saw this documentary about China on A&E. And I was like, really? I said, it's funny. She wrestled with us in Mount Airy against a dude named Bad Brad, a little skinny guy in Mount Airy before she got picked up by WWE. And she goes, that's on there. And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, he's like, there's footage of her wrestling a little skinny dude on there. And then it looks like a warehouse. And I was like, well, yeah, no, not really. It's not. But yeah, I could see why you would think that, So yeah, that's pretty cool. Small world, huh?
Hey, listen, our footprint and our handprints is all over wrestling for 30 years. A lot of people don't like it, Mickey, but they ain't a damn thing they can do about it. You are part of history now, probably one of, if not the longest running independent wrestling company in the world. So take your punches, man, because they ain't gonna stop.
No,
You
you'll
don't
eventually
like
get
us because we just won't fucking go away.
And it's just crazy because like I mentioned earlier, I've been a world champion for the AIWF before. This ain't my first rodeo. I was the world cruiserweight champion in, what was it, Rick? 2019, I believe.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why it kind of all the hate that we got shocked me, because when I won the world cruiserweight title, it was nothing but people showing love and appreciation. So I guess that's why it rocked me a little more this time, because it's just like, why am I getting it? But at the same time, hey, I kind of also look at it like this. That just means people are paying attention to me and Joe. And
it matters. It matters. You winning the belt matters. They can't say that the belt don't matter, the title don't matter, because it does. If it didn't, they wouldn't care.
Exactly.
That is the exact response you get out of somebody when you matter and what you did matters.
They get mad at you. They get mad at you. I don't know how to segue to this, but there's one thing I need to touch on. Our friends at tinytigersrescue.org,
Yes.
the AIWF Fight for the Damn Cats continues. And they are an outfit in Mount Airy that just specializes in feral cats and stray cats. They rehab them, they adopt them out. I don't matter if you're a dog boy or a cat boy, every animal deserves a nice home. Except possums. But I'm just kidding.
Possums kill ticks and mosquitoes.
See?
They're wonderful for the environment.
You walked into that one, Matt.
Oh, I know. It's like it's
They
this
deserve
war
to
on
be
comedy.
out in the wild.
Yeah, they don't need to be.
They don't
That's
need to
true.
be. Yeah, they don't need.
Don't
any
kill a
home.
possum.
Yeah,
because
but
they're
they
Don't
good
take it
for
home with you either.
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't reach down and try to pet it either.
They don't get rabies. They don't get rabies. But don't pet it.
Yeah, when the
Because
possum
life's
goes,
still gonna hurt
when the
whether they get
possum
rabies
goes-
or not.
when the possum makes this sound, it does not mean pet me. Don't ask me how I know that. But anyway, look, they foster out cats. They volunteer. The deal is Rick Diesel kind of tell them what the lady told you. Everybody thinks about dogs. They forget about the cats.
They forget about the cats, but we're going to team up with Tiny Tigers. They're actually, I think they're coming to the show next week. I think they're going to have a representative there.
Are they going to bring any cats to show off to try to adopt them?
I don't think so, but I think that I'm hoping they'll bring some merchandise, and we'll take up, and then maybe people can donate to them there.
Yeah,
because I mean, their biggest thing is food.
Yeah,
trying to keep the cats fed and taking care of their doctor bills and stuff when they bring them in.
Yep. So maybe we could set up something where we put like 5 of them in chutes or whatever, and we race them, and we can place bets, and the proceeds go to the cats thing. So
give house half the winnings.
Yeah. So, but we're going to continue to fight for the damn cats. And you can visit them at tinytigersrescue.org. That's tinytigersrescue.org. That's how the lady at the NPR station says their web address. She always puts a lot of emphasis on .org, to make sure you send the money to the right place. So let me try that again one more time. tinytigersrescue.org. And you can help out with the cat situation. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got to say. Any other comments about the Tiny Tigers?
I just like the name.
It is a
Tiny
good name.
Tigers.
Yeah, I mean they are small cats, and remember, just like a real tiger, if your cat were big enough, it'd kill you. Yeah.
So feed them regularly.
Yes, feed them. Don't make loud noises, sudden movements. Cats don't like that kind of shit. So,
Oh, look at that pitiful one. Oh.
help some medical go. Yeah, he got his arm busted there in a sling. Looks kind of sleepy, but you can help out with all this stuff. And you can see on the website here, you can click here to adopt. You can click here to donate. You can foster. And you can see here different profiles of the different cats. Like this one right here, Beetle, looks like this was an adoption, successful adoption. Let's look at the cat that got adopted. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that cat right there looks like he's been chasing Jerry all day and is just gonna taking a break. But yeah, so there's people of the cute kitties, and there's some more adoptable cats here. You can see, just navigate the website. We got Arrow, Bullet, Dodger, Patari.
We need another cat. We need another cat.
No, we've got 3. We've got plenty.
Yeah,
I was just looking, and I gotta say, I'm a big
Jimmy
fan
Love.
I'm a big fan of Syrup, just more or less because I like that name.
Yeah.
Syrup.
Adult male small, so you're gonna have to put your tennis shoes up in the closet, put them on a high surface. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Those of you who keep male cats. Now, I know there's always been a reputation about male cats spraying people's shoes. Is that true?
I don't know.
If you get them fixed.
No, if you get them fixed,
What you should always do, you should always spay and neuter all your animals.
Yep. Bob Barker told me that when I was a kid, and Drew Carey tells me today.
The sooner you do it, the better, too, because if you wait too long, they just get in the habit of it, and they still may spray. But yeah, if you spray them, if you neuter them quickly enough. This is Tully.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't think we're being seen, but
No, we can hang on. Let's show the people a live cat. There we go. There's a live cat who's clearly not pleased about being on TV.
no, he's not very happy. He doesn't like to be held.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is Tully. We rescued him.
Mm-hmm.
Just as mean as as his namesake.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
just as mean and devious as his namesake, Tully.
Yep. So visit tinytigersrescue.org to help out as the AIWF continues to fight for the damn cats, which I'm telling you, we got to have a show called that.
We have the oddest wrestling show every week.
We do.
And
I don't even.
rails. God knows what would. Hey, I want people to give us send a message to me or Matt or Brian and Reagan. Tell us
People have
what you
already
want us
found
to
me.
talk about, because God knows they don't tell what it'll be if you just let us run wild.
Yeah, it's pretty random. So, and we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes now. So,
It's the only thing that keeps me sane from my shoot job.
oh, I don't get me started.
Man, guys, I was trying to find my cat, but I think he's hiding somewhere. So I
He
figured
knows-
since we were showing cats off, but I couldn't find him.
Hello.
Uh-oh, Trista.
Yep, and so are you. It's Tim Dolan.
That's
Oh.
Tim Dolan.
Hey, Tim.
We're just talking about cats. I don't know. God bless. We try our damnedest to talk about wrestling every week, but we so get sidetracked.
Yeah, and this hasn't even.
Oh, well, I tell you what, I'll call you back and we'll talk business. I don't think we're gonna be here much longer, because Matt always says after we go so long, it's hard to get it put up on his networks.
Yeah.
If you just Google China China documentary, you can watch it on your phone.
Oh, China documentary. Okay.
Look, it screens that small.
Well, turn it this way.
Yeah, he's still straining.
Ooh.
Okay.
Dex Carter says Mickey Falk owes him an apology from RWC. Dex says you owe him an apology from RWC. Said he'd like for you to hear that live on the air tonight.
Well, Dex,
Well, we didn't discuss that match.
Yeah. Okay, so he wants an apology. Well, Dex Carter, I'm sorry that Team AIWF whooped Team RWC's ass on Sunday in War Games. I'm sorry. I know your feelings are hurt. You went home and you cried in your sheets that night. You probably had your mama read you a bedtime story to make you feel better. So I'm sorry that you had such a bad night on Sunday.
There it is.
That was beautiful.
It sounded sincere.
It sounded very sincere.
I don't know about him. I know I feel better now.
I sure do.
I had a tear.
I have a tear right here.
Oh boy. All right. Well, folks, I think that's going to about wrap it up for us this week. What a long, strange trip it's been. But we'll be back. We got a big show coming up this weekend. Stay tuned to our social media for match announcements. I'll post whatever I can get in the YouTube and the community page, the pick'em thing, so you can vote on who you think is going to win as the match announcements come out. But join us
to see what God bless. Mickey, help me. What are they saying?
What am I supposed to help you with?
I don't know. God bless it.
Lord. Okay,
are you talking about
matches?
I'm interested to see what Caden Pierre has to say.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's pretty mad about being called a bitch.
Well, I saw Caden last night, and apparently word around the street is Caden has found him a new tag partner, and the Pink Gang is getting ready to be reformed in a bigger and better way.
Oh wow.
Well, that's just rumor. I don't know if that's true or not.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All
Stay
right.
tuned.
Yeah, so stay with us.
To get us off on something. He's just getting ready to shut it down.
Yeah. So stay with us on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, not so much Twitter, but Instagram.
The Twitter may be starting up again.
Thank God, because mine sucks.
Yeah, the Twitter, the person who's been running the Twitter may be starting to work on that again, because
if you see him, tell him I say thank you.
He may have let that go, but she or he, nobody's going to take responsibility for that. But that person may be wanting to start that back up again. They just need to get some parameters on what they need to make sure they don't put too much information on. But if people want to tag us, they'll do that.
If
that person might do it.
Well,
look,
I'm sure
I do
that'll
the
be in the
Instagram
meeting
and I
shows.
keep it kayfabe. That's
Okay, no, I'm talking about. I know that person doesn't want to really give too much information and wants to make sure they just put the right amount of information.
Oh yeah, I agree. And my best advice to that person would be, don't post nothing until it's posted on the official Facebook page and stuff. Then I just copy it and put it on other people's social media. And
That's boring. That's not what Twitter's for. Twitter needs to be.
Okay. Good luck to
That's
that
what
person.
I was going to discuss. That person was going to discuss Saturday.
All right. So, and Twitter, it's maybe starting back up again. Facebook, of course, always Instagram, YouTube at the AIWF Ringside Wrestling channel. We're going to have some.
I forgot why I was in West Virginia. I have an Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway. So
I suck.
we'll have Ty Tyson's.
People try to remember stuff.
We'll have Ty Tyson's title defense up on YouTube later. If you're listening to this and it's not March 12th, it's probably already there. So for Mickey Fulp, Ryan and Reagan, Commissioner Rick Diesel, I am Mad Matt Carter. We'll see you at the matches on March 18th at Veterans Park and right back here next Sunday or wherever you're listening, right here for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. So until next time, wrestling fans, so long for now.